is a Vax Platinum Power Max carpet washing machine, and usually I stay the heck away from these for good reason, and if I'd have seen it coming I'd have probably tried to stay away from this as well. But no, I accidentally responded to the message, and here it is. It has two faults. Oh, how fantastic. I will show you them, well, both now, because I have got it to do one of the things that it is supposedly not doing. But in order to properly diagnose it, I've got to take it apart a bit. So I thought, may as well fire the old camera up and we'll have a look at getting this Vax to distribute the water properly and then stay turned on. Let's have a look. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner and carpet washing chums. How are you today? Yeah, these disposable carpet washers are a menace. Unless well, I guess if you get into them, they're okay. But I mean, I've tried. We've had a few Vax washers now, haven't we? And it's always just never been worth fully sorting them because you just can't get the parts for them. Amazingly, this has a really good motor, which is pretty key because, again, there aren't really very many decent spare motors for these things on eBay, bar pure luck. No, this one's problem is supposedly that it isn't distributing water onto the floor. And I mean, which will demonstrate that in a second. It does also have a broken power switch. So I've decided in my head that getting it to reliably distribute water is probably a worthwhile job before we have a look at the switch, and hope that the switch is something like easy to find. You know, I'm really praying that it's just a Dyson switch inside. All of this Chinese, Malaysian junk all uses the same parts. Do not say that Vax is a oh, it's Vax, isn't it? Yeah, it's probably some unique switch to this specific model. Right, let me prove that it is distributing water, just not on the rug. So, recline the machine. This is ever so difficult to do one-handed because I've got to hold the trigger and the button. And that's not bad, and it even tries to pick it up. So it works. I don't think it's the pump. If it even has a pump, not even, it could just be gravity fed. So I figured we would have a look under here. We're going to take the brush roll out and just check that it's not all gunked and gummed up. And then we'll probably be a step into getting the switch off too. Now I'm hoping it's just going to be a load of screws. We need to pop the spin scrub bar out, and doesn't that look delicious? Put that down there. And then I want to remove, because I don't actually know what I'm doing here, these screws here, which cover the brush roll and presumably assist in coming out. Ooh. Then we shall have these screws out. Come on, I don't want to strip any of these. And I'm sort of hoping that, yeah, that lifts out of there like so. Oh, isn't it very wet in there? This is what kills them, really. They just, can't handle it long term, and all the water gets where it shouldn't, and it all rusts itself out. I don't even know. Ooh, like that, look. I don't even know where the water really comes from. We shall discover that together. There's definitely some liquidity coming through. We got all the screws out. That's fantastic. Right, you just lift out. Yeah. Will you just lift out? Ow! Almost. Oh wow! Can't do anything with it. Right, yeah, pop the. There we go. Alright, end caps off, and you can get your Vax brush roll out. Ooh. Inside is the bearings are there. Yeah, that's not too bad. You can take that apart ever so easily to give it the cleaning and maintenance that it needs. But again, I don't think that's really our problem. However, we can now get to these screws, which I knew it was pointless doing anything with until we had the nut roll out. They all came out anymore. Yeah, there's one here. They're all going to be hidden. Oh, yeah, is there one here? Yeah! There we go. No, there we don't go. What is your problem? Oh no, there's another one here then. Aha! Oh my goodness, come on, you're loose. What on earth is holding this thing on? Oh, such a dummy. Oh my god, I'm not that I am a dummy, but what is... hang on, let me swear at this. And we'll try and get it on... It's on this corner. There's nothing... That screws out, that screws out. Yeah, enough there. Yeah, you're loose. You're very loose. What on earth is holding this thing together? Nothing. Okay, several broken clips later and pushing the... Oh, look, there it is. Look, the solution tube off of its little house on there. We can get the brush roll deck grime holder off of the machine. We've also taken the top knob off and I'm currently fighting it. Try and get this flipping cover off because well, I need to get to the switch and see how that's going, and because I dropped the screw into there. But I cannot get the thing apart. It is loose at the back and the sides, but there is something holding it out under here, and I just don't know what. Aha! It's a screw, which you can only get to by taking this off. So yeah, you do have to go for the solution pipe. Then you can get to the last screw, and I know it won't because it just fell off. There we go. Oh, you're going to lay flat? I don't think you are. Right, we can get my screw out. I think it's already fallen out. And see the inner workings of a TTI carpet washer. Water comes in here, goes off into places. This is the main water tube. This will be an air line that will probably hook into the motor to spin this turbine, and we need to worry about what is under here. Oh, which is going to involve removing this pivot. Why are all the screws so rusty? This bit can't have got that wet. Hallelujah. Look at that there. There is our broken switch. And we are in... Oh wow, that's been very wet. We are in ever such good... Oh wow, that's been incredibly wet. Right angle switch. Let me go and see what I can find. And with some gentle bending of the terminals, gentle because otherwise you rip the terminals out of the switch, a bog standard Dyson switch has replaced this rusty thing. Yeah, it doesn't work. I'm so glad that's just a normal standardy switch. We'll put the little switch condom back on, look, so it doesn't have any more disgusting Vax carpet washers, and that can sit in there as if that never happened. Then I can put this back together, and then we're actually in a fairly good position to just check how much water gushes out of this little tube down there. Right, let's just plug it in and see if she works. I don't know if that switch will be on or off. What are you doing? That's highly annoying. And that popped off. Okay, well, while we're here... I even pushed down on it. working completely correctly, you know. That is, I need to do a bit of research now and work out if these have a washing pump or not. And where that might be, because that's almost just gravity fed, you know, your old VAX 121. And that is all it's doing. The trigger's on now. Oh, blimey. Just wait, stay away from carpet washers, children. They are no good for you. All I can really think of doing is a nice bodge with, look, it's so clear and see-through, it's not going to focus. With hot glue, something is annoyingly, I think it's worn on here again, fax quality. Or it is the switch, I don't know. But something is making it just not connect happily at all. So we shall try everybody's favourite hot glue bodge and continue on to see what more we can do with this. Oh my goodness, I think I've got it. And off, fantastic, basic functionality is restored. Oh my goodness, right. Yeah, this thing, bless it, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but there is water coming out, even though the machine is turned off. And I have a sneaking suspicion, again, this pipe comes from up in there as well, that this is actually a gravity-fed machine. Mr. Tayab also seems inclined to agree, because this is the solution spray valve. That is where it connects into the head. And yeah, there's just loads of little holes. And I think it is literally a fax 121. And the horn of the solution just falls down, fills this up and dribbles out. I mean, it seems a bit better when it's running. Machine, nothing would be coming out of it at all, whereas there is stuff coming out of here, and again I guess this is inside of the suction chamber a little bit, so yeah, it's here, so it will be pulled through with the suction just like on a VAX 121. It only works when you clamp it down because the suction pulls through the fibres and draws the solution through. So I think it's just crap really, but fully working. So I'm going to put it back together before I become even more sick of the sight of it laying around, and we will confirm that theory. And a short while later, we're back together, and I'm optimistic, but still pre-disappointed, not even waiting that it's going to be iffy. But, oh, it's scary. I mean, it's not pleasant to use anyway, but that's not right at all. I don't know. I mean, this is all yellowing and wearing, but again, you know, my finger, oh yeah, well, it's not. Sure, I had water coming out of this the other day. Ooh, I mean, you can't do anything about it. Yeah, that's it. Little dribble, there's some. No, I'm not done just something stupid and no. Is it me? Do I need to actually bring this up with water? Because in there it isn't full. That's not going to be helping matters. Now I've already got soaking wet knees, there is one more place I want to try, and that is under these two, again, very rusty screws. Big massive screws. Ooh, yeah. It doesn't come up. Only goes down. Okay, we could best put those back in quickly. But there's no little filter in here. That is fairly solid. Okay, now I've done to take the whole flipping thing apart. I cannot be bothered. It's not worth it. You come off there. Oh, hang on. Are we just 2 screws away from actually quite a lot coming off? Hang on. Oh. Stop turning on. No, we're not. You see, this is the problem with vaxxers. You're just going to sort of take more and more apart until you really can't be bothered. So let's try plan A, which is just filling this full, because now it's a bit fuller, more water dribbles out. That valve thing was a bust as well. Although I did fill up the solution side, that is where the solution sits, and then it mixes together with the water. I did confirm that, and it wasn't the problem. So, the owner would like to continue the diagnosis and perhaps fit a pump. So, you join me a day later, almost back to where we've been before. However, and I have to have my light here in order to show you, because it's buried under the pipes. Oh, that screw, oh, where are we? Oh, I can't even really show you, but there it is. That screw there, which is all that I think is holding this piece on, so we don't have to fight it. We don't have to fight it, we don't have to bend it. Oh, I can't even see it there. There it is. Oh, it's still clipped on with something. Off. Do I have to lift the entire... Oh, it's not... well, we're going for it now. There is a screw. We cracked it out. All of the screws are the same. They're all these black, rusty types, bar the ones that only go in the brush off thing. Right, there we go. What else is holding on? Right, that screw and that screw. So to even think about looking at the pumping one of these, this is why I hate them. This is why I don't do carpet washers. There we go, look. That's simple. There's the little fella that was causing all the trouble. Bit of a shame, really, because I didn't really wanted to go this far to check there wasn't like a PCB that was sat in rust, because, you know, this motor has seen some action, but no, it's not that at all. This just goes straight. Where are you, tops? Yeah, it's literally looped straight. So when the machine is turned on, the pump is on. Fine, okay. How do we get rid of... Oh, well, we're going for it now. Here is another screw coming out, which I think is the cable clamp and this little clamp for the pipes. Because, yeah, of course it's a pumped machine. It's got tools on it. It has to be a pumped machine. Although, why does it only go to the tools? I'm even more confused now. Though it does go out there, so it sucks from there. But this is just gravity fed. What on earth? This is terrible. I mean, there's another screw that I can't... Oh, no, wait, I can get to it. Let's go all the way. Where's my screwdriver? This is why I don't film stuff like this, because I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I've taken those 2 screws out. What else is holding you on? Oh, there is another screw, right? So there's 2 screws that I've now got to try and get deep into the handle. Oh, this isn't fun. I want to know, like, because the pump could obviously, I don't know, pressurise the tank and it could still be broken. What the heck is, oh, okay, so it's loose, but I cannot get it off. Bear with. Well, we have been on a wild goose chase, haven't we? Now you've got to take all of the inner from the top handle out to get the one last screw that does hold this on. This is the valve for this machine. And yeah, when you push down the handle, all it does is push down on this. And I tested it by blowing into it. That does seal up this end here. This end, I know Phoenix must just bypass this bit here, you know, just because that's where the water goes in. And this pump, if I put my finger in there, water does come out. So I think this pump works fine. And we've actually been thinking that it was a pump machine broken, but it's not. It is just gravity fed. And it falls down this tube. And this tube is quite kinked. So I'm actually wondering if it's just, you know, done that and blocked itself up as it's gone through the machine. I bet if I put it back in with all of the kink stuff here, where it goes straight, it's going to work as well as it should. Oh my goodness. I mean, at least I'm going to put any pumping. In fact, there's water here. I think that's fine. This isn't a diode. This is a thermal cutout that you see on many random motors. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, let's put it all back together with this hose a different way around and see if that improves things. What I have done is flipped the kinky tube over. So all the kinky bits are at the top, and annoyingly one falls there, but I think it'll be okay because it doesn't move there. It then turns sharp out of this bit here, and away it goes. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. I'm going to come back when it's done. What a cheap pile of garbage. We can't come this far without just having a laugh at this motor. Blimey, the rubber retaining sealing ring is stuck to it with corrosion. Although it still spins fine, it still works okay. We shall leave it well alone. But yeah, if you have one of these, and this is why this is a pain, you cannot leave them wet and damp or overfill or even half fill, as I found out with the Vax machine that I had, the Tinko. You can fill right up and it doesn't slosh foam over the side. Vaxes, no, you can only really ever half fill them. Otherwise, you do this and you have to go right into here to do anything. It's just not normally worth it. Unless you're really stupid like I am, you've not got much to go. So yeah, onwards with the reassembly. I'll stop getting sidetracked. We are still reassembling. I still keep finding little things to just have a look at while we're here. This valve, for instance, is what sits underneath this knob, which does, what does it do? Apparently it diverts between deep clean and quick clean. And I don't know really, I guess it must rise up and down, and it's covered in, it feels like Pritt stick. It literally feels like glue. I'm sure at one point it was probably grease, but it's not doing us any good now. And yeah, that's ever so stick. Oh, okay, there's a rubber boot, that's good. I thought I'd just rip half of it apart. So there's a little rubber boot. No, clean it through the cloth, not with your fingers. Bit of contact cleaner just to break down hopefully the grease and not the rubber. And doesn't feel quite as bad. It will still be quite sticky inside of there though. So we've got some white lithium spray grease, and yeah, that moves now. I don't know whether it's supposed to ride. Doesn't do anything, just twists. Doesn't open a valve. I don't know, but it sat in there. This spring sat in there. There's a hair in there now, so it can live with this. And that is all it did. This knob drops on top. What I also, oh my goodness, this is why I hate doing these. They're so finicky and annoying. What I also want to do, this is the belt tensioner. This rides up and down and tensions this belt, and it's quite hard to move it really. So I'm hoping if we can just stick slot a little bit of stuff around, just to help out, because yeah, it's currently, oh, why are you doing that now? Currently all the way down, which is making this belt quite slack. Hang on. Which it should be, because that's what it does. I've just reclined it. This big bit of housing here, if you look at the belt, as soon as you go, it pushes it down and loosens it. So that's good then. We'll slosh a bit of stuff around and then get that belt nice and oily, just what we want. It's fine, it'll burn off. And hopefully that'll stop this from jamming up and gumming up and being really terrible. We're going to plonk that down there, hopefully, and well, I'll carry on, see what else I get distracted with. Best work. Now, hopefully, if my calculations are correct, when we drop this into place, the valve should stop the water from going down. However, if I just squeeze the trigger, in theory, nothing should stop the water flowing. And indeed, it's not. There we go, look. It is weeing itself. That is all. I mean, again, it will pull the water through the fibres. So I'm so paranoid about that switch. I had to spend 20 minutes faffing around with that as well. Yeah, in theory now, where are you pointing? That way, we might be able to do something. Okay, that actually works really quite well. There we go, we fixed it. The last thing I want to confirm is that is the pump actually running? And we can do that with this screwdriver. Flipping switch. So, we've come so far, yes, it's still so far away. Problem is now, I have to take all of that apart. Going to have to be good enough, because all I can think of is that either everything else is worn or the switch, which I don't actually know where it went, was a different size than that one, and you know that doesn't like life. But I think I'm going to send it back. She's going to experience it. If she wears shoes rather than damp socks when she shampoos her carpet, she should be okay. But wow, all of that faff for, well, a switch and a kinky tube. Who'd have thought it? Vax platinum. This would have been an expensive model, having all of, you know, max and platinum and power all over it. But no, it is a grab. I mean, it works okay. I can't fully hate it now, but I do after all of that. So yeah, that is why I don't do carpet washers. We got quite lucky here, I think, although not sure about that switch, but it's probably about as good as it's going to get. So what do you think? Have you fixed a Vax carpet washer before? If so, how was it broken and did you succeed? And until the next Vax success. So, just like every good Dreams Theatre song, we shall spend the last quarter of the video going back to the beginning and having a look at this flipping switch. Oh my goodness. But after having this apart 73 times now, I now roughly know where the screws that we need are. And you've got these two screws there. Then there's one here and one tucked just in there on here. And then the same on here. Oh my goodness. No. Uh-oh. There they are, all rusty. Pop this off. We have to remove this one here. And this one here. And this one here. Then we'll just let them all fall out because it's easier to catch them in a bit. And then, oh my goodness, we'll pull this out. We have to take this screw out of in here, which takes that hose off, and that can sit nicely there. And then with a quick push of the pedals, the front cover just lifts off. It isn't bad once you know that. We need to concentrate here. There are two screws, one here, one here. Of course, don't fall down. I don't want to forget this and drop it all on. And then this whole part comes off here. And here is, check, we are unplugged. Yes, we are. Here is our switch, the Dyson switch, that probably isn't correct. I think part of it is that, yeah, the switches are physically different, and all I've done is bend the pins down. So, I went and I found Miele original £14 worth of switch. But Miele switches are the ones that come out at the right angle, and I have successfully bodged Miele switches, or Dyson's into Miele switches, you know, fairly confidently. So I think we're going to try it in here, and I think that is sitting a bit taller. How I worked out to confirm this is if we pop, there's two little plastic tabs inside of here. Come on, everything's all wet and damp and yeah. There's a plastic tab there, we'll pop that off. Maybe we have to pop that off. I had this off there. There we go, like so. And then we can actually just start to play with this. You can fit the switch back on afterwards. Here is our rubber sealant. And I'm going to try and just keep this here and take out this hot glue. I don't think that was working. I reckon, I'm hoping, yeah, that is noticeably lower than the Miele switch. Because, yeah, I'm just tucking my wires down. The actual plastic part, this bit here, doesn't look worn, doesn't look anything. So, you know, the old switch had died. Ooh, there's no two ways about that. Oh, where's it gone? Right, we'll put our little condom on. So we definitely don't want any more of these. Fit you in there, then yeah, then we can sit this on there quite nicely and squarely, and then do up the screws, like so. And I mean, here we can go back to plugging it in and check that the switch works, which it does. So screw on, and then, oh, I might have to get my head in the way, I'm sorry. Where are we? I'm just pulling the tab out past a little bit of plastic. Come on. There we go. Plug it back in, because you can test it now. Hey, so that's what we should have done in the first place. You don't have to faff around with all this, because doing the belt is a pain because it flips off. But the problem is, as soon as you put the hood on, you then don't have enough space to put it on with the hood on. So yeah, it's good to know where the screws are for that. And I think we're going to call that done. But it's not all rosy. In the time that we've been filming all of that, all the water that was sitting from the valve down has just leaked out everywhere. So you will have to get used to pulling the trigger to empty the system when you're done. But I don't know really, especially seeing just how well that works. My main and only real complaint with my Tinko Carpet One S3 Pro is the dismal amount of water it puts down. It really doesn't get it wet fast enough for my liking. Gravity fed, it's a little bit 1980s, isn't it? But equally, on a machine like this, it works well. The tools are pumped, that's fair, you know. If you've ever tried to clean a car with a VAX 121, you'll know exactly what I mean. It works all right. It's always going to have gravity. It's never going to have to work above this part. If it does, there's a little pump. So, I mean, if you're watching this video because you have one of these, check your kinky tube. If you're not sure if you have a kinky tube, no, I'm not sure either. This is the problem with these. We've learned a thing about this. This system's probably in loads of TTI carpet washers. Don't know which ones though, but best of luck to you. Yes, you're going to have to strip the entire thing down, but you'll be very familiar with it afterwards. So, I hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed it, now it works. I was sort of about to write this off halfway through the video, and I hope it's helped you. And if you have any similar tales of carpet washer woe, do please tell us in the comments. But until the next vivacious facts, but not this one, will see you soon. Bye bye.